In this video, I'm going to be showing you guys my brand new 7-1 Joel Embiid center build I've been using for Season 5. It's been a lot of fun. As you guys can see, I'm currently 92, so I've played a couple of rec games with this build. We are going to get into the gameplay, obviously, but I think it's going to be my last build for this year. Honestly, I know I keep saying it, but it took me a while to make this build. I was in the builder for a minute. I was trying to, tweak and try different builds. There wasn't really anything that was of interest to me, and then obviously I finally stumbled upon this build. But this is what the build is currently looking like for you guys that are wondering. Obviously it's not maxed yet, so we do need to get our passing and our steal up. Again, I'm not claiming for this to be the best center build, but obviously it's a good center build to use. I think that all the best center builds, all the best builds are probably been made in the first couple of months of this game anyway. So everything else is just more of a fun, kind of a different feeling if you've been playing the game. But anyways, I know some of you guys are going to ask me, what are my animations? So it's pretty much the same animation I tend to use on all my builds, but this time around this build only get a 62, I believe, ball handle, so I only get a silver big driver, but we are still able to get a lot of the sort of the normal dribble style. Pretty much all my motion style. I know there was a new motion style that people claim to be the fastest. I quite like Kevin Durant, so I keep using it. Okay, if it ain't broken, don't change it. When it comes to my jump shot, it's the same on all my 6'11 or 6'10 plus center builds. It's Jonathan Isaac, Wagner, and Bobby Portis. It's a very easy cue. I don't even change the blend or anything, and it's fairly easy to time. But yeah, that's pretty much it. So we're going to go into the rec gameplay. I'm going to show you some of the, about 2 rec games I've played on this build. And then we're going to go into the builder again. I'm going to sort of discuss some of the pros and some of the cons of kind of using this build. But yeah, anyways, let's focus on the rec gameplay. And then, yeah, we'll get into the builder later on to discuss a little bit more about the build. Now, if you're new to my channel, there's one key thing that is very, very important for me when I make my center builds is I need to be able to be a scorer. I need to be able to create my own shot. I need to be able to be some kind of a post scoring. That's my kind of center builds. I can't imagine myself ever making a center build that can't or have the ability to be able to create its own shot. But at the same time, I still want to be able to play like a traditional center in terms of setting picks, going underneath the paint. You guys already know by now, okay? This build has a 90 standing dunk. If you're not spamming them, the dunk meter, I don't know what you're doing on your build. Now, like I said, all my center builds, I love for them to have post scoring. Now, this build, the post scoring isn't as high as I would like for it to be. My other builds tend to have like 90s and 92. But this is a Joel Embiid build as well. You guys already know Joel Embiid is a mid-range specialist. I mean, this man barely misses from the mid-range. So for me on this build, it's very, very important for me to be able to utilize that mid-range game and be able to kind of spam it as much as possible. And obviously being able to take your time. Like I said, for me, when I make my center builds, I like for them to be able to create their own shot, okay? Like, if I have no guard, if I have no teammates, I want to be able to feel confident enough that I can still, I still stand a chance of winning the game. I know some of you all love making these sort of 99 rebound, bet like 76 shooting, no playmaking type of centers, and that's cool. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with those center builds, but for me personally, I would take the risk. I can make those builds, but those builds are not going to be fun for me to play on. As you guys can see with this build, even though it's already halftime, we're already on like 21 points, 10 rebounds. And it's the most important thing for me is how you be able to create your own shot. You guys can see I'm going to keep spamming the same move. A lot of centers, that's their favorite thing to do. They kind of like to put their hands up. I don't know what the hands up is going to do for a build like mine. You can see he's jumping. And again, when it comes to the midi, this build has an 86 mid-range. So you're not going to be missing a lot of midi unless 2K is just going to be on some weird stuff. But right here, we're going to go into the post, kind of, hop in between the both of them right there. And again, if you're new to my channel, this is probably a new thing for you. But if you've already been watching this video, you guys already know, okay? I love the post hop. It's my favorite thing to do. Again, look at this build. This is a 7-1 build, kind of running the break. One-man fast break. There was a clear lane right there, and I was able to take it. Bear in mind, these are complete randoms. Like, I don't know any of these, teammates that I'm playing with, but I like that, when I get the ball, because my passing isn't maxed out. You also saw the stats at the beginning of the game. My passing isn't quite there yet. It is going to go up to an 80, so I'll be able to, chuck up these passes. But for now, because I don't have it, I'm kind of taking my time a little bit, not sort of taking risky passes. But you can see the first game, we kind of drop a nice, nice little 31 points. Just again, all my builds have to have a level of aggression. That's just the center builds that I love doing. Now, this second game I'm going to show you guys, I'm actually going to show you guys my current build where it is at the moment right now. This gameplay, you guys won't believe. You guys can see I only have a 73 block. Now with a 73 block, that also means I don't even have anchor in this gameplay. I don't even have bronze anchor. You guys will see how many blocks I'll be able to get. And I don't know what that is about, sort of anchor close shot. For me, a lot of people tend to ask me, Fair, do I need close shot on my build? And I always tend to say, unless you want to be post hooking and spamming the post hook, y'all can see I haven't even touched my close shot in this game. You guys will see a couple of times I'll be able to go up in the paint with no problem at all. I have a build that has a high close shot, and if it's contested by a center, I'm telling you, it's a brick. But again, y'all can see another block from this build go into the transition. You know, this build is not as fast as my other builds, but it's, you know, it's not the slowest center build out there. It certainly moves pretty well. Again, another block right there. I was kind of surprised, you know, I thought I won't be able to get any animations. Now, if you're already underneath the paint, the one thing you don't want to be doing as centers, in my opinion, is if you're underneath the paint, don't pass out, bro. I know some of your teammates might be open, but that is just as easy as a wide open, like, literally, you passing out the shot is just, you miss, just passing out on a wide open layup like a Ben Simmons, bro. If you have 90+ standing dunk, if you're underneath the paint, doesn't matter if your teammate's open, just go up for it, bro. You're gonna get it 9 out of 10 times, and if you don't get it, it is what it is, right? The teammates can't get mad at that. Like I said, if you're underneath that paint, you're gonna absolutely just body any single person. Now, I don't know if the standing dunks need to be toned down for next year. I don't know, but hey, listen, as long as it's in this game, you might as well keep utilizing it. I get dunked on all the time too, so don't worry, it's not just me doing it to other people. But y'all can see, again, it's crazy how I'm able to get so many blocks with only a 73. Now, is there a difference between a bronze and gold anchor? Yes, there is a big difference. Again, one of the biggest difference I've noticed for me personally is if you have gold anchor, you can stop a lot of crazy animations, including like people going for these like heavily dunk crazy stuff. With bronze, it's not as consistent, it's not as frequent, but obviously it's good enough because, you know, typically I tend to make my center builds with no block at all. So I wanted to have some level of block on this build and kind of be able to go crazy. Y'all can see right here, it was kind of, you know, y'all can see it was a bit contested. I wasn't going to try to force to dunk me right there when my teammates was wide open, but, you know, just kind of pick and choose when to be able to do it. Again, this build is very good when it comes to the rebounding. If you're underneath the paint, sometimes you can give you that animation, but don't be disheartened. As you guys can see, I got it right back and just forced the dunk again. Okay, your teammates kind of flopping right there, and that would pretty much do the end of the second game. We went crazy in this game. Y'all can see that only a 73 block as well before I upgraded the build. Now obviously my build currently does have, you know, bronze anchor and everything else, but I didn't in this gameplay. This was a very good random rec gameplay actually, because we absolutely just blew this team. Y'all can see out with the points averages for our teammates. I mean, it's one of those 1 in a million rec gameplays where it's actually fairly decent. But anyways, enough talking about sort of the gameplay. What I'm gonna do, I'm gonna go into the builder and we're gonna discuss a little bit more about the pros and cons of the build. So here we are in the builder. Obviously, it's going to be a Joel Embiid build, number 21. Obviously right-handed if you want to. You're going to be 7'1", 231 pounds with a 7'6" wingspan, so we can get at 86 mid-range shot. You can see right there. Also with 83.0. I think you can get away with a 76. You know, I was playing with a 78 for a minute before I recently upgraded my build to 80, but I didn't even notice. I forgot I had that 78 3-pointer. So as long as you have that 86, gives you that, you know, gold open looks, you know, gold catch and shoot. I think you get gold catch and shoot like 84 anyway, so you're gonna be solid, man. You're gonna be good. But this is pretty much what the build is looking like. Obviously my drive and dunk in the gameplays you guys are watching was only like a 74, so we can still go all the way up to an 82, which is pretty good. But honestly, like I said, having a 75 drive and dunk, it was actually pretty decent. I didn't feel like I needed more than that, but obviously it would be nice for me to be able to, you know, upgrade it once I do. The post control, like I mentioned in the video, it is a little bit lower than my usual builds, and trust me, there is a big difference. If you don't play in the post, listen, I play in the post every single game, so if there's someone that's going to be able to tell you if there's a difference between an 85 and a 90 post control, there is a big difference, okay? Because the biggest difference, if you guys don't know, is you'll be able to get Hall of Fame post spin technician at 90, and also you're able to get Hall of Fame dream shake. Now the post spin technician, you're able to get a lot more favorable animations against a lot of centers, okay? Even guys that have a relatively high interior defense, I'm still able to spin them on my builds with 90 or 92 post control. Whereas with 85, you're gonna kind of struggle a little bit, so you're definitely need to be able to utilize that mid-range shot. Unless you get a mismatch or someone that's slightly weaker than you, then obviously, hey, listen, just bully them all the way. I also wanted to be able to have some level of ball handle on a center build, because I didn't want to be kind of sluggish. I know some people just put 40 ball handle and kind of leave it at that, but for me, I like having big drive. I know people talk about how the bat doesn't really make a difference or whatever, but I just like having it, okay? I don't know if it's a placebo or a subconscious thing. I like having it on all my builds. I would prefer to have it on gold, but hey, I've only got on silver in this build, which is pretty nice because I am 7'1", 80 passing, and again, this is probably where it's going to get a little bit tricky for most of you guys, because now I ain't going to cap. A lot of centers I've been seeing recently, a lot of people have been using like 61 interior, 74 interior, 77 interior, 78 block, 87 block. A lot of people kind of settle for 87, and I honestly, if you want to go for 87, I don't know what you're gonna have to sacrifice. You're gonna have to think about that. But I think 87 is pretty solid for a lot of people. But I think 78 is pretty decent. If you want to make an offensive focused center build, I think having a 78 block just gives you that ability to be able to have some level of protection in the paint. You're not completely useless. Like, my other builds are basically completely useless. If someone drives to the paint, I can't even jump. So at least with this build, you still get that silver chase down, that bronze ankle, which gives you those animations. You also in other gameplay, only a 73 was still going crazy. So with a 78, you should be pretty solid. Again, I know a lot of centers are going to be like, yo, Fear, I'm going to bully you with my 99 offensive rebound build. Hey, listen, I've never claimed for this build to be the best center build. But, like I said, y'all can see, having a 92 and 85. The reason I didn't go to a 93, if you guys don't know, is if you don't have a 90 strength, there's no point going to a 93, bro. Like, because you need 93 to be able to get Hall of Fame box out beast, and you also need a 90 strength combined, okay? So if you're not going to get 90 strength, you might as well just get 92 so you can get a gold rebound chase and your boy's out, okay? Now, if you guys want to reverse this and put a 92 on your defensive, hey, do you, bro? Whatever makes you feel comfortable. Now, one of the biggest downside for me with this build, now, I don't know if it's because I've been using a lot of quick builds, like my 7-foot builds, they have like 70 to 73 speed. Having a 64 speed, you do certainly feel it. The way you move around the court is kind of sluggish sometimes. Now, again, if you've been using center builds the entire year, they've been having like 60 to 63, 64 speed to 65 speed. You're not really gonna notice any difference. So you're gonna be solid, right? But if you be using a 7-foot build, now for me personally, I still think the 7-foot build is the ultimate in terms of the tallest center build to go for that has the best attributes. I still think it's the 7-foot build because you're able to go like heavy, still have relatively quick speed on it. But with this build, I wasn't able to get all these stats on a 7-foot build. I really tried, okay? I tried to kind of fix it, because I really wanted a high speed, but 2K was just like, nah, Fair, bro, we ain't gonna let you have that. So I had to settle for the 7-1, unfortunately. But listen, the 7-1 has been going crazy, 82 vertical, 55 acceleration, 98. But that's pretty much the build, okay? This is my Joel Embiid build. Obviously, it's a template for you, so if you guys want to tweak it, hey, it's completely down to you. But I'm an aggressive center, so I like scoring. So if you want to be a scoring center, then obviously I recommend my builds for you. But if you're not a scoring center, don't force the gameplay. Just stick to the traditional vanilla type of centers. They're cool, you know, like put a lot of, you know, strength, a lot of rebound on your build. But hey, if your team is ass in the rec, hey, don't blame your team for not being able to create anything. But with this build, at least I have some level of control in terms of the scoring, if I get the ball anyway from the rec randoms. But anyways, the build is going to be called a glass cleaning 3-level threat, which to be fair kind of describes Joel Embiid. You guys can see you even get a shade of Joel. I don't know why DeAndre Ayton is in there. Please get rid of him, 2K. But DeMarcus Cousins in his prime, listen, Boogie Prime was crazy. Anyways, hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll catch you in the next one.